Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome to another Wednesday night of KBBU Behind the Scenes. My name is Michelle Green, if you don't know me by now, and this is the KBBU team, or at least part of them, okay? So, what we are doing is we are a business school and we help entrepreneurs all across the world. I'm talking about like billions and billions of people to be able to learn how to do business the right way. As a business owner, we start out and we don't really have any direction or guidance, and people don't actually have time to take with us to teach us about how to do our businesses right. So that's why KBBU, Kingdom Builders Business University, was originally created. So we are here to help give you some tips every Wednesday night since we are not in class. Normally we have two opportunities for new people, and that is individual private strategy sessions where you can get an associate's certification. That's right, an associate certification. And we also have the opportunity for you to come into a group classroom with these amazing KBBU coaches, and we will give you a bachelor certification. You go through a curriculum that is going to give you everything from the rooter to the tutor. You'll be able to experience real live transformation, real live transformation in a way that which you will never be the person who you were before. It will change you in a way in which your life will be better. You'll be able to excel. You'll be able to grow and change and do the things that you always dreamed of. That's what KBBU is all about. But since we are out for the summer, we're only having some of our coaches here to talk about just different entrepreneurial type tips. So, we're going to be talking about tonight when someone exits your life. And unfortunately, we just said goodbye previously because y'all know I keep it real right here. We just had a exit in our life personally with one of our coaches. Shout out to Coach Cornell that is not going to be with us temporarily for the summer. So we will just keep him in prayer. Thank you, Coach Cornell, to your dedication, your hard work, and everything that you have given to KBBU. You have really been a jewel to us, and we are so appreciative of the way that your mind thinks and the laughter and the fun times, and especially the choir that you have brought to KBBU. So thank you for being a part of the team, and we'll just be waiting on you to come on back when you're ready, sir. Let's talk about this. When people exit your life as a business owner, what does that look like for you? Do you get mad? Do you get upset? What kind of challenges do you face? Is it something that you feel like you can handle, or are you the kind of person that just dismisses it and doesn't want to deal with it and take it in a negative way that somebody's out to hurt you or harm you? What are your thoughts out there? That's what we want to dig into tonight for tonight's KBBU. So listen, let's go ahead and let Preston go first because I know he got something he want to say. All right, Preston, come to the stage and let's hear from you what you think about the exit when people leave your life.
See, she all in my head. See, she all in my head. She messing with me already. I mean, get some body, man. No, first and foremost, that's my brother. Like I said, me and him been rocking and rolling for 22 years. Like we were in Korea together, walking around Arizona together. He saw what I was talking about with KBBU, and he came in and enrolled in the course, and he was just one of my coaches. So that man is family. I will definitely, I won't miss him because I'm going to still talk to him. I'll miss him in class, but he is still a part of my life. And you got to go through like it's almost honestly just the grieving steps. He just hits you with a shocking announcement. So it still ain't
Yes.
set in yet. So that's the biggest thing. It hadn't set in yet. We gave him our support and our love, but it's probably not really hit us till we have that first session without him.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. And I just really wish I could just get in the car and drive to his house and sit down with him. Not even to ask him no probing questions, just be there. That's the first and foremost thing, you know.
Right, right. Just sit with him. That's how
Yeah.
I'm feeling right now. I just want to go give him a big old hug and just go cook him some good old soul food and just be there, be present. So that's one of the things that we deal with when it comes to someone exiting our life. At least in my opinion, the way that we should handle someone exiting our life. The first thing we got to understand that just because someone exits our life, whether in life or in death, no matter the circumstances of the situation, it could be a family member, it could be a divorce, it could be someone that is leaving and graduating to another level in school and education, it could be a friendship, it could be whatever. But whenever someone leaves our lives, we have to change our mindsets to assuming that it has to be something that is negative or bad. There's nothing bad or negative about someone moving on to a different time in their life, to a different experience, a different journey. But many times when we deal with someone leaving our life, we look at it as, oh my God, what did they really think about me? What did they really do? Or are they trying to hide something? Are they trying to do something negative? That's how most of the time, especially as business owners, we always think that somebody's out to get us and they're not. There is not always a scenario where someone's out to get us, and just because they decide to no longer be a part of our life or our community, our businesses, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, and it doesn't mean that anybody was in the wrong. People are in our life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and not everyone can be there for a lifetime. But I'm telling you right now, Coach Cornell, if you're listening, you are our lifelong coach at KBBU. Brother, let me tell you, you and Miss Sharon, we got all the love for y'all, all the love. And we are so grateful that you have been a part of our life. Thank you, Preston, for introducing him to us. All right, Dr. Tina, what you got to say about this whole subject matter of people leaving our lives?
The sad thing is, the reality is that this is just a part of the journey. And many people want success, they want growth, they want abundance, they want all the things, that we dream about. But you don't ever think about, when you pray, when you ask for certain things, that certain things are going to fall off. Meaning,
Woo!
people, things that was your normalcy may not be so normal. And for Carnell, he's gonna always, it's just some people that even if they change directions, they still on your map, and he's gonna always be up over here on the map. So this is not directed to him, that I'm saying,
Right.
because he is family, and he could try to get rid of me, but you got me for life. And you just have to deal with it. You and Miss Sharon,
You
okay? But
do. That's
anyway, I had to
right.
come into the camera for you to say that. But anyway, and so the fact of the matter is, for me, I'm just going to speak for me. I have dealt with this on more than one occasion, when people leave or they gradually fall off from in my life. And it hurts. It hurts, because if you have developed a friendship or a likeness, or even came to the place that you can out your mouth, like, we love Carnell. I'm not gonna
Yes,
lie, it hurts.
it
It
does.
hurts. It hurts. I'm not gonna act like, oh, I'm all strong. No, it hurts, because I really do care. He is really a part of my family. He's a part of our family, and his wife is just, she KBBU anyway. So it
Yes.
hurts, but we have to realize that it's not just about us. It is about them, and how far does your love stretch for that person? Is it only at the convenience of them being in your life to make you feel good? Or
Ooh.
is it even? If they need to pause, how would you respond? And so this is the time when we need to show that person or people more love, more attention than we ever did. because now they're going to feel isolated. Now they're going to feel bad themselves because we all love them. And so for me, I know, not speaking about this situation, but speaking about previous situations. Well, I'm gonna talk about this one. This one ended great, but I had some situations that did not end as great. And so I had to learn that in those situations, I couldn't take everybody with me. And I'm that person. When I love you, when I'm your friend, I am that girl. Okay, I'm ride or die, put Vaseline on my face, Tim's, all that. Where we going? I'm that girl. Once I have attached myself to you, it don't matter that we water. You become my new blood. You can become my family. And so they go through something, you're going through them, because you feel their pain. You might not feel it to the level they feel it, but you feel it. And the sad thing is, this is just a part of the journey. So be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it. We've been hoping, wishing, and praying for certain things to happen and manifest in our life, but we did not take into account the things that we have to leave behind, or the things that may change that we didn't account for. Mm-hmm. And we can't allow those changes to misstep us, but also we got to be there for the people in their journey of what they have to deal with the now. Because the reality is, in a situation like this, is that their now is changing, just as our now is changing. But how are we going to move forward from this point to make sure that our current now always involves the other person? Even though in the category that we're currently at, they're not in the same destination that we're at, but they can still be a part of your life in another way. I remember a partnership that I had, and I spoke at an event. The person bought my product. They ended up joining my company, and we were riding for years together. And then it came to the point that he said he couldn't do the business with me anymore. Oh, so he had to relinquish the inventory, his inventory and everything, and it hurt. But guess what? I thought it was going to end the friendship. I thought it was going to end the business relationship, because that business side was stopping. But what ended up happening, because the relationship was such on pure, solid foundation, we were still friends, and it got stronger.
Lesson.
It got stronger. And so I feel like this is what this situation is with our coaches, because we're always family. And in some instances, with other situations, it might not work out this in that way. But with this scenario, it's just going to get stronger, because now you're connecting not because you're a part of a same job or whatever. You're connecting because it's the person. Mm-hmm. And that is lifelong. And it's a different kind of level. And I think about him. His name was Thomas. I say was because he passed away a year or so ago.
Oh my God.
And he, even though we wasn't doing business, he literally would refer and recommend business. We still supported each other in whatever ventures that we had. Even though we wasn't doing business together, partnership like it was before, we had our separate businesses, but we still supported each other. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to just support. We're going to love. It's not always easy, but we will survive. They will survive, and we'll get stronger. And this is just unfortunately, a part of the journey.
Wow.
The roller coaster effect that I always talk about, ups, downs, twists, and turns. This part of the dip.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that is so true. I mean, I'm over here and I'm just thinking, like, it's so many different things that we need to be made aware of when someone is leaving our life. You know, one of the things that I was thinking about is, when we have separation, are we really prepared for that separation? or does it come to us as a shock? Was it something that was maybe, Holy Spirit telling you, okay, wait a minute, this there has to be more room that is made for new people to come, but at the same time, do we need to lighten our load as we elevate? When we most of us are at a state of shock because we don't really think about as we elevate, like you're talking about, Tina, we're going to a different tier in our lives. All of us are, and they do change, and they are hard, and not everybody is capable of doing the same things with the different circumstances that they might have to encounter in their personal life. And therefore, when we elevate and when life changes, when it happens, we're at a state of shock. We're not at a state of preparation. So we haven't really, even if we had the nudge to maybe put some other things in place or have a plan B or have a backup plan, we aren't really prepared for when that person exits our life. It could be a relationship where we would, maybe we've been having those red flags that, okay, something just ain't working out right. Okay. But instead of us just following through and setting ourselves up to really be fully prepared for what could happen, not saying that we need to take a negative perspective on it where we're just thinking about always somebody's going to leave our life or somebody's going to hurt us, but just when we have that little nudge from the Holy Spirit, from that sense that, okay, well, we need to maybe put something else in place, do we follow that preparation? Or are we just not listening, not just ignoring? We're deciding that we're not going to pay any attention to it. We're just going to overlook it. No, that can't be right. That can't be right. But we got to understand that when we go up higher, there's always going to be a place and a time where our load has to get lighter. If we think about as a business owner and even in our own lives, because we are not separate from our life as a business owner, we got to think about the fact that going up higher is a lonelier place. It's a lonelier place because we're not going to have that big crowd around us. We're not going to have like a whole bunch of family and friends like we might have used to have had. We're not going to have the kind of environment that we used to have, but it doesn't mean that we can't make new family and friends.
Can I add
So,
something?
absolutely.
It's also what you take with you because, like you say, I'm still my brother was a part of this. He's still a part of this, but his insights, like you say, when you talked earlier, when we all first met, that was a turning point for us. We all met in the flesh, face to face. So he's not out there by himself, but he's on a different path from us. He's never
Right.
gonna be alone. But his path, now he's taking what he gained from us and what we gained from him. Because we on our path, same way. We're on our path, without his insights and intellect. He's on his path. We all still together. It's like we on parallel streets. We all on the same journey. We just taking different routes.
That's
So
all.
it's like sometimes you need to, like I would say, like a plant. You gotta aerate it. You gotta weed out a few things to help it grow, to help it expand. So this is his and our opportunity for expansion, not loss. It's expansion. Because he can come back, or some of us might even see where he's going, and we might want to join his endeavor. So that's the way I'm looking at it. You know. So
Absolutely,
I was just
Preston.
sitting here thinking
Absolutely.
about that.
Yeah, because when we think about it, like when we're elevating and he's taking a different path than us, and I'm just speaking in general to, all of us, we all have different routes that we take, but we have to understand that change is going to come about in our lives. And when that change comes about, it doesn't always mean that the people that we began with that we're going to end with. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that you have to dismiss or take everybody away from your life. It doesn't mean that you have to totally just disconnect from every single one. You know, the world will teach us that, okay, yeah, I'm going to cut everybody off because I'm angry, because, like Dr. Tina said, I'm hurt. But that's not the way we handle things. We don't handle things in anger and hatred and coming up with all of these reasons that aren't even real, that we don't even know. We're just coming up with accusations that we don't even know is the truth or not. But instead of doing that, we as business owners, especially those of us who are believers in God's kingdom, we got to think about exiting with peace. That when we even ourselves have to exit different environments, we have to exit being around a certain group of people, or even a family member, or a friendship, or a business partnership. We have to understand how to exit peacefully. So we need to take away from tonight, the tip is to be prepared. Always be prepared. Don't ignore the things that God is leading you to do, because you don't know exactly what is going to end up as, but at least if you follow all the instructions that he gives you, you know that he's not going to leave you improperly. You know he's not going to lead you wrong. And I'm just saying to Cornell and to anybody else out there, we got to do whatever he is calling us to do. That is our assignment. And nobody should be coming up to us and telling us that we're wrong for what we did. When it's time to go, it's time to go. And that is absolutely okay. But let us, in the second point that we are making tonight, let's understand that we got to exit in peace. And we got to allow those who are exiting our life to exit in peace, because they are walking in obedience. And who are we to hinder them from walking in obedience to what it is that they have been called to do? Why would we put something or put pressure on them that are exiting our lives or exiting our businesses or exiting a relationship? Why would we put pressure on them to say that what they're doing is wrong just because we got an opinion about it and we didn't get the memo in the time enough for us to really prepare? See, we got to be mature in our daily walk, and maturity requires peace. Maturity requires obedience. So are you being obedient? Are you able to really let go? It's just like a child that's growing up, that's getting ready to leave home. I remember when my daughters were leaving home, and when the youngest one was leaving home, before I had my my youngest son, my daughter was leaving home, and I didn't really want her to leave home. And the way that I handled her last few months being at home, it was in rage. So some of us need to check ourselves from the neck up and understand that this is just a part of the process. And even though we may not be prepared because we've been living in a fantasy land in our minds, we have been living in la la land and not really looking at the true aspects of what is going on in the environment around us. There's always a time for everything. There's a time to be born, there's a time to die. There is a time for fighting, for war, and there's a time for peace. So when we think about all of the different aspects of time, everybody has to go through it in their own time. And the word of God says that that time is beautiful. So just like I was angry, I had to learn how to be in peace when my daughter left the house finally. I wish I had handled that thing in a different way, but we have to live and learn and grow, and none of us are perfect. So if you've had this experience, I just challenge you today to think about when someone leaves your life again, or even when you walk away from someone's life. I just challenge you to do it in peace and obedience, and watch the results of the blessings that come your way. Now, is it anything else that y'all want to say, Preston or Dr. Tina?
No, I think I covered pretty much everything. Just now it's just support, you know, happy thoughts and prayers, things of that nature. We'll definitely see him again, so there's no doubt in my mind about that.
Absolutely.
One thing, I mean, we said everything. I really like what you said about peace. You want to exit in peace. And so to think of the last time, I know for me, I have had some times where we exit in peace, but I have some time where it wasn't so peaceful. So, and so I really like the part to drive home because you want to make sure, like grandma and them say, you don't want to burn no bridges because you might have to
Right.
cross back over that bridge one day. And you
That's so
can't cross
true.
over that bridge if you burnt the bridge. Okay. And so that's what that excellent piece made me think of, and understand that in your elevation, this happens. Changes in your business life, partnerships, uh, changes in your personal life, relationships. It's just a part of it. And I don't think as entrepreneurs we even think about this. We're so thinking about the end goal because we saw the
Hmm.
vision, we wrote it down, we made it plain, we saw the beginning and we saw the end, but we didn't see the middle.
We
And
didn't see
this
that
is the
middle
middle.
now.
This is the middle that we did not see. We didn't account for all the variables, the detours, the pit stops, the going slower, going faster. We did not account for this because we felt that it was stable and sturdy, that it was going to be a constant.
Hmm.
And we just didn't prepare for it. I know for me, I didn't prepare for a lot of this stuff. I'm like, whoop, you know.
Nope.
But at
Nope.
the end of the day, God is faithful and He helping all of us. And like we said before, this is just a new beginning. It's just a new beginning. That's all it is. It's a new phase on the board. It's a new phase. So that's all I have to say on that. But it really made me think deeper about this whole thing of elevation in the entrepreneurship industry that we never talk about. This is the side that we never talk about, nor do we know to talk about it because we don't think about it until you're in it.
That's
And then if
right.
you're in it, then you don't readily come on no TV show to talk about it.
No,
You
that's
talk
not
about it at the water
normally what
cooler or
people do.
something. So, but at the end of the day, this was a beautiful end in peace.
It
And
really
this
was.
is the type of essay that should happen in personal and business life, where everybody is on peace, love, abundance, growth, and most of all, support, love, and community. Because
Yes.
it hasn't ended the relationship, it just ended the piece that you used to do, but now it's fitting to expand to other things that you never even thought of because of this. So I'm grateful that the school brought us all together because like I said, you can't get rid of me. So
Hey,
once
I
I
love it.
decide to attach, once I decide, and I decided, and that's that.
Hey,
That
hey,
that.
that's it. That's it.
That's
Thank you,
it.
Dr. Tina. Thank you, Preston. Thank you so much. The last thing I just want to share with you guys is to remember that when it's a divine disconnection, it is going to protect your destiny. When it's a divine disconnection and it ends in peace, your destiny is going to be protected. So Cornell's destiny is being protected, that he's no longer with us as a coach, but he's going to be protected no matter what's going on in his life. And we are going to be protected as well. So whenever you think about again, okay, well, this person had to leave my life, or I had to leave their life, I had to leave this company, I had to separate from this job and go into my own business, just know that your destiny is being protected from the divine disconnection. That's all we have for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I apologize for us being a little tardy, but y'all can go back and hit replay if you are interested in just running through those episodes and getting those tips from Michelle Green, the KBBU team. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday from 9:30 until. All right, take care. Bye bye.